So I've just zeroed these off to the diameter of 223, so 224. So as you can see, that's a 5-shot group at 100. For the 5 shots, that's actually 0.815. Now I know I pulled that one, so the only reason I went with this recipe is when you bring it down, those other 4 shots come down to 0.503. So that's a ½ minute of angle. Not bad for a factory gun. Straight stock standard, no work done to it, just a heavy barrel 223 from Savage. So yeah, that's pretty good going. Can't beat that. Hopefully it'll do me okay at 300 metres tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep the videos coming. See you guys. G'day guys. Just something a little different for the videos this week. Got away from hunting and thought I'd do some show you guys to do some reloading. Tomorrow I've got a 300 metre fly shoot, which I use the 223 rem, and I've just been developing some loads using Nosler Custom 80 grain projectiles. Did some trials the other week, and between minimum and maximum, there's our groupings. So from what I can gather, I reckon this recipe is probably the best one. I was seated just a couple of thousandths of an inch off the lands, and some pretty good tight shots there, so that should be a goer at 300. Got some once fired cases, and give you a quick run through on how I go about reloading. Pretty simple. Just give them a quick lube. Obviously check for any pressure signs from the last ones. There's no split necks, no flattened out primers. So just some case lube, then some graphite neck lube as well for just inside the neck. Straight over to the press, and because I'm using these as target loads, I'm only actually neck sizing them. I'm not doing a full length 3 size. I do that for all my hunting rounds, but for target I just do a neck size. As you can see, that also pops the primer out. And just for accuracy, I sometimes quite often just check the mouth size as well. So so far all these guys that I've done so far up around 0.215 inches at the mouth. So I try and keep that as constant as possible so I get the same pressures and same grip pressure on the projectile. So there you have it. We've got our lubing done. Deprimed. Ready for the rest of our case preparation techniques. So once we've deprimed and neck sized, it's a good chance to clean all the lube off and get rid of all your case lube. Give the necks a bit of a clean out with a wire brush, just to remove any residue in there. And obviously with every shot your case with the pressure expands and so on, and lengthens as such. For my target stuff, every time I reload I give it a trim. So now that we've resized our cases, it's now time for the rest of the case prep. So give them a bit of a clean, get the excess lube off, give the neck inside a bit of a run with the wire brush, and with the Lee zip trimmer and the case trimmer, it's just a matter of plugging it in, a couple of pulls of the handle, and if they have lengthened, that'll take them off. Now these are only once fired, so I'm not expecting them to be too stretched, if at all. So that one's actually right on. That was fine. Same thing again. Quick clean. I find it easier to break it down into one-step processes. That way you don't miss anything. There's no chance of missing anything. I used to sort of do a big batch where I'd you know, resize it, do this case prep, I'd trim it, and then I'd do the camphor on the necks, and I'd do everything all at once and have them ready to fill with powder and reprime. And it's tedious, you get lost. So I mean, now it's just one step at a time, and I do the whole batch at that one step, so I know where I'm up to, and there's no chance. I mean, we've all seen guys at the range that have let a round go and it hasn't had a primer in it, or well, not so much not a primer, but it goes bang and that's all you see. It's because he's forgotten to put powder in, or it happens to the best of us. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet, and I don't want it to. That's why I take these extra steps and extra care. So now that we've trimmed them all back, next step I do is to go and camphor the case. So we've just trimmed them all, so there's sharp edges. So I just run over with the little camphor tool. Just a couple of turns, that's all it takes. It takes any burrs off. And then I also do the inside, which just helps seam with the bullets. And takes off any internal burrs as well. So as you can, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's nice and shiny now. No burrs, and a nice little beveled lip. At this stage too, time to do our primer pockets. Probably one of the most important parts for accuracy is a clean primer pocket. So I just use primer pocket reamer, and for extra stubborn ones, which you do get every now and then, I use just a small pair of surgical tweezers and use those to scrape it out. And the other primer pocket cleaner. So the tweezers work better on the 308 stuff. The 223s are a bit small. And then tap it out. Okay, so we've got the tedious part out of the road. We've neck sized, we've camphored, we've deep primed, we've cleaned the primer pockets, we've trimmed. That's the horrible, boring stuff out of the road. Now it's time to reprime using Remington 7.5 bench rest primers. I find them to be really accurate with the 223. And powder load today will be ADI's or Talus's Benchmark 2. I only use ADI powders, Australian made, locally just down the road at Yarrawonga. So, and you can get them anywhere, and so far they've been really accurate. So, grab some glasses. I always wear glasses when I'm playing with primers. Important thing with primers is obviously for accuracy is their seating depth, to make sure it's uniform. And one of the biggest killers of primers is grease and oil, so even just your fingertips. Lee have got this fantastic auto prime. It's just a simple case of sliding it into the shell holder, pushing down until firm pressure, and perfectly seated just below the case rim. One primer. Simple as that.